Welcome to the Clock Hour. This is Marv Kendall, aka I'm Not a Rapper. Um, you know, I was looking at a post in one of these groups. You know what always interests me is people sit behind their screen or whatever and become judgmental. And there was I guess a major drug bust out here, or they call a major drug bust out here. And understand, I'm not for the drug game or nothing like that, but I'm not the one to speak against it. I'm just not here for that. It just interests me how people attempt to tie drug usage, drug dealing with welfare assistance. I've seen one comment in there against they try to tie the two in with welfare. I get it, and I understand that, but those are separate entities. My thing is the demand. The demand of drugs in the United States is high. I just got a video last night about the counterfeit. I shouldn't even call them counterfeit pills. The fraud on the pharmaceutical companies. People are making medication in other countries. So be careful. But it kills me when people sit around and try to tag a certain community with drug usage and welfare. When my background, and if you really do your homework and what welfare was started for, and look who's actually going to jail for welfare fraud, it will shock you. So do your research, do your homework, and go read some of them articles and see who's really on welfare and taking welfare. I remember, I think I was out here in the 90s, 93 to 96, I was a recruiter. And I think Clinton was in office, 92. 92, 93, somewhere in that vicinity. And he was giving people timelines to receive assistance. Now, I'm neither pro nor con to assistance, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm not here to judge people for their shortcomings or for whatever it is. That's not the way to do it. I know people may not agree with this and so forth, but I don't care. If the demand for drugs is high in an area, you're going to have a lot of drug dealers. And this country, this government, they know that the demand for drugs in this country is pretty much always high. But it's big business. It's big business as far as the prison systems, as far as certain areas, economy, drugs, drug dealers, cartels, the whole nine. It's part of some of those communities' economy. So they know what's going on. This is why I kind of shy away from social media, because I sit and I watch and listen and read some of these comments, and I'm like, some of y'all really sit in this little bubble and think that you're right, which is crazy to me, because you're missing certain elements of the equation. You only stick to your one element. You know what I mean? So it really makes no sense. It's really an opinion, which everybody has them. It's an opinion. But my opinion, one shouldn't judge another when something they don't know the full scope of. big business, economy, money. It's big business. Drugs, the prison system, the dealers, the so-called criminals. You know what I mean? That's all big business right there. The lawyers, don't forget the lawyers in the equation. You know what I mean? So stop judging or stop sitting there speaking about some of the things that you really only know one level of it. There's more degrees to all of this. You know, so when I hear it and see it, I'll be like, man, that's dumb. But then you want to combine the two, and I noticed that. Like, how you sitting there talking about welfare recipients, man? If people need assistance, people need assistance. If there's no jobs, there is really, what else are they supposed to do? Go hungry? Even during Rome, after they used to go and conquer different lands, they'd come back and feed the people. If you don't take care of the people, what do you think the people are going to do? You know what I mean? Think about it like that. You know, because a lot of it is like, if I'm hungry and you got some food, I want to eat. So how am I going to eat? You ain't giving me no job. Like even when they built the mall around here. Oh, it's going to bring jobs. It's going to bring jobs. Look at that mall. And then when you go into some of the stores that the mall had or even have, ask who's the manager and where the managers are from. I don't see them being from Waterbury. So where the jobs? What you think the people gonna do when they hungry? Like I take trips to DR. So I asked a couple people, what's the problem? They share an island with Haiti. I understand the corruption and everything and you know how things are operated. But what is the history? When you go back to the history, one person said, oh, they're savages. What? I didn't appreciate that response because some of them people over there are hungry. What would you do if you were hungry? But it got quiet after I asked that question. What would you do if you were hungry? What are you gonna do if you're hungry? What would you do? What extent would you go? Let me move this. If you were hungry. So when people give me one-sided opinions or even thoughts, ideas, I don't really swallow them because I know that there's another side to that story. Or even another side to what's really going on. See, I did the history, and another friend of mine gave me the history of that island. They share an island. All the tourism and whatnot is on the Dominican Republic side. And I'm not speaking against them. I love going there. I enjoy the food. I enjoy some of the people. I enjoy the culture of it. You know, but at the same time, a few miles down the road, down the highway, is Haiti. Do your history on that. I'm not going to go into details because I don't want to miss no points. But when you do the history on it, you'll see what it really was. And see what it really is. This is the Klock Hour. Like, subscribe, and share. I'm just rambling a little bit right now. But this is for the people, by the people, about the people. And what I try to do is give people an opportunity to talk about who they are, what they are about, and what they do, and you know, if they have any contributions that they would like to make to the public, I try to do that. You know, but I'm gonna start, you know, doing some of my work from my spot. You know, just to have more of a discussion. And another thing, your kids. If you are not teaching your kids properly, they're going to end up going down the road that they don't need to go down because you're not teaching them properly. You're not teaching them respect. You teach them respect out the gate. Respect. That's a big one to me. Loyalty. Being accountable. This sense of entitlement is not working. The kid pouts and gets mad. You go buy him $200 and $300 sneakers. Then you ask them what their grades look like. I don't know. You get them iPhones and different things like that. They're unable to communicate. All they do is text and watch videos and stuff on their iPhone, on their phones. They can't even have a real conversation. You're not teaching your kids, people. I'm blaming everybody. Teach your kids some things. I was a single parent. I did my part. You know what I mean? But no help. Well, I had a little help, but from my moms and my grandmother. But if you're not teaching your kids what they need to know for the future, we're in trouble. I be in the schools. I see it. So people kind of, start paying attention. Stop worrying about what you look like on social media. Moms and dads and stuff like that. Stop all of that. Get back to having a conversation. Have your kid put the phone down. If you go in a restaurant, put the phone down. And sit down and talk while you eat dinner or whatever. If you're going somewhere, have your kids put the phones away. Put them away, at least for about 10, 15 minutes. Got to shut it down. This is all by design. All by design. When you look at it, you're like, well, what is going on? By design. Kids will text their moms and dads and they're all in the same house. Have them put the phones down and talk. Talk to your kids. You're losing them. They say the children are the future. Shit, I'm scared. Because if a phone is dictating the future, or even social media outlets and so forth, if that's dictating the future, we're in trouble. They're not learning anything. Then they keep using that excuse, with the COVID, bullshit. That means that they have more time to learn. But I understand some parents use school as a babysitting tool. But at the same time, they're not learning nothing. Teach them something. While they were home, y'all should have bought books. Pull out some books and made them read books. Do something. But if you're just dressing them up with nonsense and sending them off to school, it's not working. It's actually sad. And I'm not saying all parents, but what I'm seeing right now, shit, it's not working. It's not a good look. At all. And I've been waiting to speak about it just until I learn more. But I'm sitting and I'm listening and I'm like, is that the real conversation? Young boyfriends and girlfriends, bro. You call it ladies. Some of the stuff coming out of ladies' mouth. I understand when you're away from your parents, you get to talk the way you want and act the way you want or whatever. But yet and still, if you were instilling something, they wouldn't even want to go that route with that dialogue. Bro, who calls men and women, men to men, bro, that's cool. But men to women and women to men, bro, come on, man. Y'all got to do better, people. You got to do better. I come from the era when they considered young black men as endangered species. And it looked like we are right there again. You got to do better. Then you're sitting up when something happened, you're sitting up on social media, please pray for this one, pray for this one, pray for that one. Come on. Fix it before it happens. Why not? This is not, I don't do what I do for a spotlight, for status. I do what I do because this is what I'm supposed to do. Every black man or every man is responsible for every child. Every woman is responsible for every child. That ain't my child, so I ain't responsible. No, you are responsible. When that child leaves out that door, he's out there in the world. So everybody's responsible. That's just my thing. So saying it's not your responsibility, it is your responsibility. Peer pressure. I sit in class, I'll be like, what kind of sneakers are those? Those are J's. What kind of sneakers are those? Yeezys. What kind of sneakers are those? Some other shit. Right? You got a job? Nah. But you got on $200, $300 sneakers. Makes no sense. It's idiocy. What you gonna do when you graduate? I don't know. Go to college. Okay, how you gonna do that? I don't know. You take your SATs? Nah. PSATs? Nah. What you gonna do? I don't know. This is really just a PSA, man. And it was on my mind, so I figure I'll bring my thoughts up. You know, what's driving us today wasn't driving us yesterday. I remember coming up 16, right? And start getting your license or whatever. 18. You know, as a young man, you can start renting hotel rooms. 21. I could go to the club now. But 18, I was in the United States Navy. 1987, November to 1997, May. I'm a former submarine sailor, cook at that. So I am a veteran. And I was in during Desert Storm on submarines. I was a government employee for 20 years. I've seen it, been there, done that. Clockwork Entertainment, it's my company. That's been my company since '05. I worked with artists, local artists, between Waterbury and New Haven. We went everywhere from New Hampshire on down to Atlanta. Shows, many states. I've earned mine. I do graphics. I used to do CD duplication. I do production. As you can see, I record also. So that's what gives me the right to say what I say. Whether anybody likes it or not, that's on you. I'm not here to be pleasing and all this other nonsense. I stay in my lane. And honestly, I mind my own business. I conversate with a select few brothers that I served with. That's what gives me the right to say what I want to say. For the people, by the people, about the people. The Klock Hour. Like, share, and subscribe. Please and thank you. Holla.